Hey guys, so I guess you could say this isn't not it's not really an official like the actual video that was released. This is kind of like it's an official animated video, but it's not the video if I know from what I've seen. Um but the Archies, Sugar Sugar has a place near and dear to my heart. Uh we took a trip to Florida one winter, and the entire way down we heard the song over and over and over and over and over. I don't even know what station we were listening to, but it was just over and over and over. We're in the back of the van. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. The windows, for whatever reason, were rolled down, and we're fucking freezing back there. And just hear the song. Just hear the song. But this is animated. As you can see, Archie Comics. Riverdale. Yeah, remember Riverdale? Also, fun fact with Riverdale. So I was watching, when is it, a couple months ago, when Josie and the Pussycats, the live action movie was on. It was on YouTube for free, and they mentioned Riverdale. I'm like, oh yeah, because nowadays people hear Riverdale and they think of, like, the TV show ghosts and ghouls and freaking witches and devils and angels and this and all that. But I mean, you had Sabrina, and she shows up here. Um, but Yeah, Josie and the Pussycats. You're like Riverdale, so they're in that same town as all these ghosts and supernatural crap going on. Also, Sonic was Archie with Archie Comics for a while. I think in like the '90s. But yeah, Riverdale. This was Riverdale before. Now it's synonymous with ghosts and ghouls and other kinds of supernatural beings. But yeah, Archie. Archie, 1942, I think, was the first one. It's just entitled Archie. And then it's just kind of grown from that. It had a cartoon, obviously. You have Archie, Veronica, Jughead, Betty, Josie and the Pussycats there, Sabrina, Sabrina Spellman. Just a large cast of unforgettable characters. But yeah, this is the animated video for this. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense. The Archies, Archie comics, makes perfect sense. But anyway,
And now, the Riverdale Carnival presents the Archies.
Take care of the kissing booth while we're singing, Sabrina.
Okay, everybody, here we go with our new hit record, Sugar, Sugar!
Sugar, oh honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you, honey, oh sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. I just can't believe the loveliness of loving you. I just can't believe it's true. I just can't believe the wonder of this feeling too. I just can't believe it's true. Ah, sugar. Oh, honey, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you.
okay, so there's a certain charm that cartoons from back then had to them. Some of them were like this, where they weren't very animated. They were animated, but they were very stiff. Um, you can kind of see this was almost like one of those. Um, you had like Flintstones and stuff like that, very animated, but like you notice that in the background, you know, the same scene over and over, like the background just repeated itself. Is like, how many pharmacies do they need on just that one stretch of road? You know, the same house they were building, whatever, it just repeats. Um, but it was good for the time. I mean, if you notice, like Scooby Doo was kind of like that. They kind of had a lot of stationary positions, and they're like, you know, what's that? Let's go, gang. You know, very, very stiff movements. Um, which is weird because then you look at someone like the old, Disney stuff, it's very fluid and beautiful, even though it was black and white. And then this is the, 70s, 60s, and 70s, and animation is, you think would have improved, but I mean, again, it's certain charm to it. Taking something like Archie comics and taking those characters, Archie and Betty, Veronica, Jughead, Reggie, Sabrina, Josie and the Pussycats, which I used to watch that all the time too when I was a kid. Josie and the Pussycat, yeah, amazing, amazing song. But seeing them translated from comic to, on screen being animated, it's, I guess they tried to stay as close to the comic as possible, and when you're with the expressions and movements, but yeah, it's a good song to go with this, especially with the visuals. Sabrina with the kissing booth, and her kissing them, turns them into various creatures because she's a witch. But just what was the frog with the heel click? I mean, was it because he got kissed by Sabrina? I mean, I'd be like, why the hell am I a frog? But sure.
Oh, honey. Oh, sugar, sugar. You are my candy girl. You got me wanting you. When I kissed you, girl, I knew how sweet a kiss could be. I know how sweet a kiss can be. Like the summer sun.
I'm sorry, what now? Did he just lick his lips as he looked at Sabrina? For him, that's not a big deal, but keep in mind, Sabrina's like, what, 15, 16 years old? So as the viewer? But it's a different time, John. It was a different time. It was a different time. But that was interesting.
Sunshine, pour your sweetness over me. Pour your sweetness over me. Oh, sugar, sugar on me, honey. Pour a little sugar on me, baby.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pour a little sugar on me. Oh, yeah. Pour a little sugar on me, honey. Pour a little sugar on me, baby.
What now? So she turns the dog into a clown? Okay. Also, it's kind of loud for me. It's a different time. It's a different time. The humor and stuff like that was just different. It was just different. Back then you could have a rabbit looking at Sabrina and it was perfectly fine. Nowadays you look at that and you're like, she's like 16, but so are they. So I mean, but as someone who's older, you look at that, you're like, I don't care if they're the same age. That's kind of creepy. The dude's looking at her like, fresh meat. Well, that certainly was interesting. But yeah, Jughead with his little paper crown. What was the dog's name? I think it was in the, if I remember, what was the freaking dog's name? I think I'm gonna have to look it up. Hang on, because it's going to annoy me. It's Hot Dog. Hot Dog is the dog's name, and he's Jughead's dog. Wow. The names in this Jughead, Hot Dog. I mean, they all have got, I mean, like Archie, Betty, Veronica. I mean, those are normal names. And then you have Jughead, you know, and I want you to meet my new friend, Cockmaster. um, but like I said, the animation, it's what you expect from the 60s and 70s. And it's so weird seeing that Sabrina. I'm so used to seeing like Melissa Joan Hart's Sabrina, or the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Kiernan Shipka, and she actually did pretty good at portraying this kind of Sabrina. They gave her the white hair after a while, after a few episodes, and they gave her the red headband, and then when there was two Sabrinas, and the one was wearing a black headband, and they were in the same room, at the same time, and one of them hid, and Zelda's like, "And since when do you wear a black headband?" Just kind of calling it's like that's her thing. That the red headband is her thing. But yeah, Sabrina, Josie and the Pussycats. Again, Josie and the Pussycats. You watch the movie and nothing supernatural happens. Just a group of beautiful female friends, and they want to make it big as musicians, and they go to New York and this and that, but it reminds you that they're from Riverdale. And you're like, especially now, you're like, Riverdale? You mean the place with angels and devils and supernatural crap going on? You mean the place where Sabrina Spellman lives? Or at least in the show, she showed up one episode. I'm like, that Riverdale? Really? Because you forget this is what Riverdale was. It was a cool hit place to be. But yeah, the animation's exactly what you remember from the 60s and 70s. Taking the characters from the comics and translating them to on screen. I mean, it's Archie. It's Archie and his friends, and what else do you expect? But yeah, Josie and the used to watch that all the time. It was on what was it, Boomerang, I think, when I was a kid, on a Cartoon Network. They would show old episodes of like Josie and the Pussycats and Jabberjaw and stuff like that. But I watched Josie and the Pussycats all the time. If I remember, it was on at night. I'd be laying there, in bed, and Josie and the Pussycats comes on. And then when I got older, I would wake up and Inuyasha's on. It's the same thing. It's like you always wake up at the end of Inuyasha, and you hear the ending song there, which it's fine. Inuyasha's really not that great. Go ahead, fight me. No, it's really not. I watched it all the time as a teenager. It's not something I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for the next episode. I can't wait for them to go find a piece of the crystal, the jewel, and have Naraku there, like, ha 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 ha, I'm gonna do some terrible things to make you fight some creature, and I'm gonna run away. And then Shomaru pops up like, oh, Inuyasha, you'll never be like me, and you'll never, this and that. And it's like, oh, I hate you, Shomaru, and I'm gonna fight you right now. And Shomaru, it was like the same thing every episode. Sit, boy. It was like the same thing every episode. But anyway, bit of a tangent there. But just remember waking up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, Inuyasha. But Josie and the Pussycats, Sabrina, Archie, they're nostalgic again. 1942. They've been around a while. You know, just Archie. Just simple title back in 1942, just Archie. And then it's spun into this whole, more characters and a bigger cast. Different scenarios, and we have Sabrina being introduced, and so anyway, that's gonna do for me though. Let me know what you think of this, of the song, in general. Were you watching stuff like Archie and reading the comics back in the day? I guess simple things like favorite character, and have you persisted with that kind of universe, like, Riverdale or Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, or anything that continues the story within the Archie universe. Anyway, also the Sonic comics by Archie Comics. That Sonic is like freaking overpowered. He is so overpowered. People want to Goku versus Sonic from Archie Comics. I hate to say, but like Archie Comics Sonic would slap the crap out of Goku. I love Goku, but Archie Comics Sonic would just, he would just smack him. He would smack Goku through the freaking dimensions, all of them. Just however many dimensions, he's going through all of them. Anyway, but yeah, let me know all that great stuff. That's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.